Shall we get on to Lindholm getting 2 goals in his debut for the Vancouver Canucks? Man, listen, if the Vancouver Canucks are going to give you anything, it's if they're going to
all of their prospects.
They're going to let you go on a shooting percentage bender. And,
oh my God!
And it's never falling to earth, never again. They will shoot 20% the rest of their lives. It's crazy.
Who had the stat last night? I think it was Mike Kelly. They're first in rush chance goals and 32nd in rush chances.
Wow.
You're first in a type of goal and last in that type of chance.
Yeah, that's correct. Offense off the rush.
Offense off the rush.
Second place would be, well, the Stars are actually tied with them for first. For anybody that doesn't understand, the Stars have the 8th most amount of chances off the rush.
Like, that's reasonable.
Yeah. Vancouver 32nd and first.
That is unreasonable. There's a reason why people keep looking at the Canucks and they're like, all right, so they're going to turn into a pumpkin eventually.
Mm-hmm.
I refuse to say that because sometimes, I don't know, you're just the best at this.
Yeah, why can't you just be good and play that style of hockey? I didn't like that Twitter narrative that went on. They're like, oh, they're shooting a high percentage and they're lucky. What if they're just good?
Well, the PDO is a little crazy.
What if they play with the lead so friggin' often that's why they don't have that many chances?
Yeah.
Is that possible?
Yeah.
Or every time I check the box score, they have the lead.
Yeah, or that's the style of hockey they play.
Yeah.
Like, that's also a reasonable conclusion.
Now, it's funny. This is the same conversation we had about a decade ago with Patrick Waugh's rookie coaching season with the Avalanche. Like, what if this is just the way they play? And then the moment the playoffs arrive, they turn into a pumpkin and lost. But it is very funny that a notoriously unlucky player this season makes his debut and gets 2 goals right away.
Yeah. Beautiful. And Rick Tocchet said his favorite types of goals are the tip-in one that Lindholm scored and tic-tac-toe goals. Mm-hmm. So he for Lindholm to get 2, that's got to feel good because he had 1, I think, in his last 15 or something.
Something like that. He was not good. Or not fortunate, I should say.
Right. And then to double up on that, Andrei Kuzmenko gets a beautiful pass from Jonathan Huberdeau, who Julian McKenzie and Salim Valji were both saying Huberdeau had his best game as a Flame last night. Kuzmenko just rips it home 4 minutes into the game.
And Kadri is almost on pace for 70 points. Like, he's really pulled it together. Listen,
that's good.
Like, the Canucks are going to judge the Lindholm trade by whether or not they do well in the playoffs, whether or not they, make the Final Four, or whether or not they win a cup. Calgary Flames have an opportunity to do really well in this trade.
Sure. Because, Kuzmenko can finish, right? He can finish.
Like this,
and they need that.
This is what I was thinking about. Like, people are talking about all the prospects they got and all the picks. I'm like, what about Kuzmenko? Like, he could simply just be a good player for them. Mm-hmm. He could be another trade chip for them. Like, what happens if they're able to do with Kuzmenko what the Habs were able to do with Monahan, where Kuzmenko's a dump. That is a cap dump.
Well, because he signed a pretty expensive deal, right?
Right, $5.5 million, right?
Yeah, which isn't outrageous. And if he has a good back half, then all of a sudden, last year he scored 39 goals. He had a bad first half and then a good second half. The majority, 75% of that, he is a lethal goal scorer.
Yes, the idea is that he's closer to the 40 goal scorer that he was last year than he is the 8 goal scorer I think he has this year, And if Calgary can get that out of him and within the next year, like, they got something really nice.
So here's what I would say about that. The one thing, the hole in that one for me is the fact that his shooting percentage was 27.3 last year.
Which is
sustainably high. Preposterously high. But if that puts him in from a 39 goal pace to a 25, 26 goal pace, that's pretty good.
I'd like to know what it was this year.
12.7%. And it's also...
That's pretty reasonable.
Also 50% because he had 2 shots last night.
Lol.
12.7%. He had 8 goals in 43 games. I think if he falls somewhere in the 15% range, you can find value on that contract.
Yeah. No, there's a lot for. I think both teams won in that deal. Like both teams should be very happy. Hunter Brustevich, the prospect they got, like Jeff Merrick called him the Adam Fox of the OHL, which is unreasonable for a prospect. But he has a lot of upside. Like there, you got somebody who you can build on, and then with Kuzmenko, you got something there where it's like this could be value come next trade deadline. Calgary should be very happy with the return and with Lindholm, that's somebody you weren't going to bring back. You got a whole bunch of stuff for somebody you weren't going to keep.
Oh, no, they were, Jesse. They were going to bring him back.
Yeah.
Just like Hanifin and Tanev.
Oh, my God.
All of them. They were going to re-sign Zadorov.
Yep.
But then they had a deal that was too great to pass up on. A third and a fifth? I mean, come on.
By the way, just to show you how impossible it is for an agent to permanently burn a bridge, Kuzmenko is a Dan Milstein client, and so is Nikita Zadorov.
Right.
Dan Milstein got on Twitter and was like, trade my guy to the Leafs.
Mm-hmm.
He basically did that like mid-game, basically. And a couple months later, they trade one of his clients or acquire one of his clients.
Kuzmenko had Calgary on his no-trade list, and he had to waive that. Yeah, there was the holdup that night when the trade was coming out. It didn't come out till like 10 p.m. or whatever it was, 9:30. And it was a delay because he had to literally tell him, you have to physically waive your no-trade clause so you can go to Calgary, and he did.
I think him going to Calgary is him getting good advice, honestly.
Well, it's an opportunity.
Yeah,
he's never going to get that opportunity.
Yeah. You need to be in the lineup, dude.
Yeah.
And he wasn't every night with Vancouver. You're not. Listen, you're on a contract now.
Mm-hmm.
You're spending money every night. You're not in the lineup and you're not scoring. Go somewhere, get in the lineup, play in the top 6, and kill it.
Yep.
First game, bang.
And you get to play with Kadri and Huberdeau.
You could do worse.
Like if you're a finisher, those are two guys that you want to be.
If you're the guy who resurrects Huberdeau's Flames career, they will give you money for that. They will give you money for that.
Yeah.
Like we've been saying for months, they need to solve this. They need to find someone to play with Huberdeau. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
That might be it right
Just
there.
get open.
The
guy can. He's an assist king. He can kill it.
I think Kuzmenko got some good advice from Gold Star. You know,
that's what we are.
You're a Gold Star.
That's what we are.
And on the Vancouver side, Lindholm is exactly what they needed. Like you see it happen the first game. You know, he's gonna be on that power play and he's gonna do damage. And they took away nothing from their lineup. They've been good all season long, and they didn't need Kuzmenko. They weren't playing him, and they just got the guy they need on their second line on their power play. They're set up perfectly for a good run here. So I don't know. Both sides did fantastic on this trade.